Good afternoon. Today on Quilting with Rachel, we are going to be doing a new block for June. May's block was a 4-patch. It was really beautiful. Here it is. This is the 4-patch. And we're going to follow similar lines today in this month's block, which kind of starts looking like a 4-patch, but then it moves and you do one thing and then it changes the whole dimension of it. So today, let's get started. Step 1, cut 4 5.5-inch squares, 2 of your focus and 2 of your background. All right, then you're going to lay it out. Don't forget after you lay it out to take a picture. We've laid it out, and this is, we're going to sew these 2 pieces together and these 2 pieces together, right sides together, clip, clip, sew, and then clip, clip, sew. Remember, we're going to do our scant 1/4 inch. Again, if you haven't seen me do that before, it's less than a 1/4 inch, but more than an 1/8. So you want to be somewhere in that line right there. All right, let's get these sewn. Now that we've sewn both of our 2 pieces together, before we go over to the ironing board to iron this flat out, we are going to cut this block, one of the blocks, in half. So you take your seam, where your seam is, right there, and we're going to lay that up on our board away from us. And then we are going to find out where half of a 5.5-inch square is. Half of 5.5 is 2 3/4. So you're going to find your ruler and go over 1, 2 3/4 inches. So right there. That should be half. Always double check your measurements. This is a 5.5-inch square. So you can take your calculator. And yes, I know mine's pink. 5.5 divided by 2 is 2.75. And 0.75 is 3/4. So you're going to take your ruler, do 2 3/4 inches, and line it up. And I'll show you how I've got it lined up in just a second. This up at our 2 3/4 inch line right here. You can see it's about equal right there. And you're just going to use your rotary cutter and cut down that line. Our seam is pointed away from us because we want to cut this block in half and then open it up and have this nice long piece. Our rotary cutter, got our piece separated here. Always make sure you close your rotary cutter when you are not in use. Always make sure it's closed, but always treat a rotary cutter that it is always sharp, because these things are super sharp and you can take off a lot of your meat on your fingers. I've got scars on my hands from that. So we're going to take these to the ironing board and press, and then open it up with the dark side up, or our background up. Press and open, and then I will lay out the pattern again for you. Piece has been pressed open. We've got our nice layout now, where we've got our cut 5.5 inch. So now we've got this 2 3/4 inch strip. We are going to pin here, right sides together, nest our seams, pin there, put this one in, and pin there. We're going to sew along this line here and this line here. So when we open it up, it'll look just like that. All right, let me get this pinned and then I'll show you what it's going to look like. When you are putting your seams together to get that good solid straight line to get all your points to meet, you make sure you nest your stitches. And there it is, nesting the stitches. Make sure they come together as close and tight as possible. And use your wonder clips to clip them in place. These are amazing. I love my wonder clips. I purchased mine at the Fiberology Lab in Oak Ridge. They have a set of 10 that you can get, all different rainbow colors. Love them to death. They are my favorite new quilting notion of the year. All right, so we've got this pinned right sides together. All right, and you can see that one strip, we've got that one strip attached to that block. Now, you can pin both sides at the same time. It just depends. I've got both, I'm gonna pin both of them so I can just sew down one line and then trim off of it and sew down the other line. It makes it easier and way less time consuming if you just sit and pin once and then sew. So everything is pinned and I have this like door in the front here. So we are going to sew down one line with our scant 1/4 inch again, and then sew down the other line with our 1/4 inch. I'll show you. Our piece all pressed. We wanted to make sure we kept this on the bottom, so when we folded out our seams, they're folded toward the outside edge. This is all nice and pressed, and we've got a finished 10.5 inch square. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed.